Who remembers the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles? No, not that version. That series was good, but not quite. There we go. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, the original 1987 TV series. Today we're going to be taking another trip to that deep end of my brain that I never go. So let's talk about this awesome cartoon. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles is an American animated series produced by Murakami Wolf Swenson Incorporated, which premiered in December 14, 1987 as part of a mini-series. And just to throw a fun fact at you, this mini-series was animated by Toei Animation, the same company who animates Dragon Ball Z, my favorite anime. Now, originally they weren't even going to do a show about these turtles. They had only planned to push out toys of these characters from the comics, but the company Playmate said their cult following was a little too low, so they recommended they release a television series to raise hype. And the show was a instant smash when they released it. So of course they expanded its life cycle, and this show would end up getting 193 episodes, which is a lot of freaking episodes. Now if you ask me, the original series comes out on top when I'm picking my favorite out of the three, the others being the 2012 and the 2003 version. But don't get me wrong, those other two versions are no slouch in comparison. Actually, I really love the 2003 version. I remember waking up on Saturday mornings and watching that particular version. But anyways, it was just something different about the older version. Not only did it have that classic cartoon look, but this show came off a little more dark and eerie. It kind of gave off a pup named Scooby-Doo vibes. Now this was the first time I had ever seen a cartoon like this. Imagine me as a kid, bro, finding a new show about these four Ninja Turtles who lived in the sewers, who loved pizza, which I'm sure we all can relate to, and were trained by a freaking master rat, which sounds random and incredible, but there's actually a deeper story behind this. To understand the relationship between the Turtles and Master Yoshi, one must know the story of the original Master Yoshi, which was Hamada Yoshi. He was a man who belonged to a clan in Japan named the Foot. Pretty odd name, but okay. Now Hamada Yoshi was their sensei, teacher of the warrior ways and enlightenment. Yoshi was a quiet man who loved art and was pretty much loved by everyone. Everyone except one of his students, Oroku Saki, who sought to desert his leadership. So one day when a highly respected master sensei had visited the clan, Hiroki set him up and got him banished from his clan.
For this misdeed you should be banished from the Foot Clan altogether.
With no money and nowhere else to go, Yoshi fled to America and was forced to live in a sewer drain, which he then made friends with the rats that lived there as well. They were his only friends for a very long time, until one day some kid dropped his turtles down the drain, which Yoshi took them in and started raising them. But one day he would stumble upon the turtles in this purple mutant goo, which had some weird side effects. It caused whoever touched it to turn into whichever animal they last had contact with. So since the turtles had no animal contact prior to falling down the drain, they turned into humans. And as you can see, Yoshi turns into a freaking rat because his last animal contact prior to the turtles were the rats. Man, I would go freaking crazy. Now the turtles gave him the nickname Splinter for obvious reasons. In returning the favor, he ended up naming all the turtles after his favorite Renaissance paintings. You had Donatello, whose simple wooden bow staff could disarm any enemy. He wore the purple headband, and he was the most scientific-minded turtle out of the bunch, meaning he was the smartest. He was responsible for the creations of most of the turtles' high-end tech equipment, including the turtle van and the turtle blimp. And this man was so smart, he actually managed to build a working interdimensional portal, though it is unknown how he found the necessary equipment to do so. Now the running gag in the show is that Donatello's inventions usually had the habit of breaking down or blowing up in his face.
Looks like problems in Pizza Town.
Although it was many times when the team relied on him whenever they were faced with scientific or mechanical problems. Looks like my man Spencer took some inspiration from Donatello.
I was just...
Bruh, then you had Raphael, who wields a pair of sai and rocks the red bandana. He was pretty much considered as the rude and sarcastic character. Raphael's personality is a bit different from his incarnations. While he's still a rude, tough, and sarcastic character, he's more of a wise guy with a smart aleck attitude than a hothead with anger issues. However, Raphael can become cranky and even lose his temper when annoyed or upset. But I mean, who doesn't? He definitely doesn't get into a violent rage like his brothers can sometimes though.
Out of my face, jerks!
At least in the earlier seasons of this show. But one thing's for sure, this man was definitely super lazy and often didn't want to participate in fights because of this. But we'll let my guy slide since he's the comic relief of the show.
We'll make our stand here!
Kinda like Custer did.
Next we had Leonardo, whose swordsmanship was unmatched. He rocked the blue bandana and wields 2 katanas. Leonardo was the leader of the group and was typically the more serious one at the bunch. I mean, you gotta have balance, right? We can't have everyone slacking off and devouring pizzas all day.
I want that pizza!
Now Leonardo was also the most skilled fighter, and pretty much he was given that charm role, if you know what I mean. He has that superhero vibe to him. He wants to be the one that always steps up and saves the day, which I didn't have a problem with. I mean, because he was the most skilled and level-headed and often made good decisions for the group, so I would just let my guy shine. Then we had Michelangelo, who was the master of the nunchucks and
master of the whirling pizzas!
They all loved pizza, but he definitely loved it the most. Now the nunchucks were cool, but he eventually ends up switching to a grappling hook later on, and pretty much Michelangelo was the most relaxed out of the group, mostly interested with pizza and having a good time. Sounds like my guy has great taste, and he will also use a lot of slang and is the source for the many catchphrases such as Bruh, I swear this man Michelangelo was a surfer guy at heart, but he also enjoyed skateboarding and partying as well. Now I'm pretty sure Michelangelo was also the least skilled out of everyone, if I'm remembering the show correctly, because everyone had low expectations for him all the time, which he would often exceed, but then again, it's not that hard jumping over a rock, if you get my drift. Now the guys would often butt heads with the show's main enemy, Oroku Saki. Does that name sound familiar? Yeah, the guy from earlier. He's actually Shredder. It's a lot more interesting when you know the backstory and how things became the way they are, rather than just seeing some random turtles fighting some evil guy. Shredder was frequently assisted by mutant henchmen Bebop and Rocksteady, and was bossed around by Krang until season 9, where he was replaced by Lord Dreg. And I also have another fun fact for you guys. Phil, also known as Uncle Phil from the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, rest in peace Uncle Phil, yeah, but he voiced Shredder in the original Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, which I think is freaking awesome because I'm just now finding out this information with you guys. Also, it is important to know that the mutant goo that transformed the Turtles and Master Splinter wasn't just random. Apparently Shredder had found the location of Splitter and tried to take him out by pouring that goo down the drain, not knowing that it would actually transform this man into a giant mutant rat, and this mysterious mutagen will also give birth to his worst enemies, the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. So did you watch this show back in the day? I can certainly say I did, and I really enjoyed visiting this series to make this video. If you haven't checked out the original Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles or the 2003 version, I would highly recommend them both. And let me know if you guys would like to see a video over the 2003 version or the 2012 version. But anyways guys, if you enjoyed this video, be sure to leave a like and check out more of my videos here on my channel. But until next time, peace.